Ja katsoin kauppakviitteskotan opiskau pimpitsikki nippahissik. Mua niitä kävi kiehtäkosta hänen sekämi omonti kihmuhkeetik. Jeekissa meitä. Kotka pimpitsikot opiskaumaan. Hän osma kiikui.
The Caribou. They once prospered and thrived in the cold north. Today they are struggling just to survive. What caused this dramatic change? What efforts are being taken to ensure their survival? The importance of these creatures, both environmentally and culturally, cannot be understated, yet is largely unknown. We, the Aseniwuche Winewak, have a unique ancestry and call the Rocky Mountains of Alberta home. Our people have lived in the mountains for generations, and it provided us with everything we needed. By hunting, fishing, and harvesting local plants for medicines, our people were able to live a traditional lifestyle. Because of our remoteness, we were one of the last Indigenous peoples to maintain our traditional way of life. Our elders tell stories about how the caribou used to roam these lands in large herds and how the people would use them for their survival.
Mitse kutekaki hop maakik pökoi kuni hapitik kuni nematoksi pa pesten maana kuunaka kuti kutem ni bitepitik kutatein ko taksitik itse kuti hapitik maiti kokteite tämä ko ja notskoksi auguti toti kokpuoti miti ja pa pesno hapitik niipi o tihuja Kimiasikannoi ni soiki tabati heokana tikati kwakaki kipaso rogdas kutsuk mana kiusitasik mutsinni pake kuta anaskaso kiso so miasin kuta ja pakosun japu kauikitsiki kuta anaskaso kiso so ko anaskaso atikoyan eko po ja se namana ko sitatsika tikkojan nosi. Eko kajaski haiman toniki haiman makoihtakun. Wa joupoko kikoi kanata mi statimokki. Akinestositik makoimas siittimikonik toniki haiman. Yntäköjä toniki kimisee tätä tihkajassa, kun kiihottaa tihuokaisiin juokmistahi. Ja tihkujassa.
Niin se on makata hokaisin, no te teki tihaa. Kun kiipasi kun. Ja kun mä oon ollut, niin togisi, kun se kantoo tehtä päällä raapas koko sotkaan niitsi vieppinik. Kita on te paksin päässä ruokaa, muikua neumussinna. Senkin niitsi vieppinik.
Kun tässä on se kriksyä kohti jääjävät. Ketä se on stiisi? Hitaksennekin kauan hiitse katurskattakakin. Käpit nousa on stiisi. Mä skekataan, kun tässä kumannakin jääjävät. Kimä mitse etti vaikka manna. Käjäsi 1945 potse kun takka jääjä. Käjä tekus piikota heku. Mä mini näitä, mistä ei totse muana nienan. Teko niipin päpäkin niin pähät kun tapaku. Muikin se kun tava kamika on jääpu kun manna. Kiinnitse etti vaikka tässä kuts. Kun mä navaskesi joka vähän seitit. Kriisi, kiva seitti vaikka. Kun mä skepsi piimän niin kiva apmäkin. Vaikka kos niipin pitsen annum siis. Kata siihen käy ikässä, kun kamiuska mikä nakata itsekin. Itä uudessa olkaa viikit. Kun tämä näkit miskana vaikka. Kun hän ammatsietset tänä kävi. Siniazito tetsekanam papakito. Winwiki pona. Pakignusamana ni mama kiusiho. Matsimana psagana pisana kawasaki tsistani kwanana ketetse. Ekushishiki tapata. Ekwa asama matsikushi hatse. Kotawa ho tseku maskausi. Kihwa swatsekana. Wini pakameshamane kotawa wikashik mishakani hitetse. Mindi wakat nishksen totsemog mistai. Windows wikipo.
Kiusaamme itse, kun täysin. Mutta aina kaksi piinaa, niin pahana aina nousi kyknä. Kiusaamme itse kajas.
There are many subspecies of caribou, the largest being the woodland caribou. They can grow anywhere from 55 kilograms to 318 kilograms and live 10 to 15 years. Their contribution to the diversity of plant and animal species cannot be understated. They ensure the survival of the diverse ecosystems they live in. Known as an umbrella species, their waste adds unique nutrients to the soils and waters. Caribou also travel hundreds of kilometers in the spring and fall through the oldest growth of our forests. These forests in the AWN Traditional Territory are home to 4 West Central Alberta caribou subunits: the Little Smoky, Alapesh, Red Rock Prairie Creek, and the Narroway herds all reside in the AWN Territory. These animals rely on the old-growth forests of the Aseniwuche Winewak's traditional lands for nourishment. Protecting these forests is key to the animal's survival.
So this is lichen. There's actually 2 different kinds of lichen that you can see. This is like a hair lichen or like an old man's beard lichen. And then this is like I think this is called reindeer lichen, but this is what caribou like to eat. It takes 80 to 150 years to grow when there's a lot of it around. So that kind of indicates the old growth forest, which is what the caribou like. So it's pretty abundant in this area, and we've actually seen them around this area quite a bit. Yeah, this is one of their main food sources.
The caribou also played an important role for the Rocky Mountain people. For thousands of years, our ancestors and the caribou lived together in harmony in the hostile environment of the Alberta Rocky Mountains. Caribou was used because they had one of the strongest bones available. It didn't chip or break easily, and it was usually harvested when the caribou were migrating in the fall, when they were finished growing and fattening up. In 1969, a coal mine was developed in our territory and was soon followed by the town of Grand Cache. After the town was developed and other industries started moving in, our elders noticed a rapid decline in the population of the local animals, and in particular, the woodland caribou.
Se puhutti sitten jo, ettei Suomea nousi tekee tuleeksi makkaikaa meissä neuvomista kahpaskoon. Muiktiin ja muu soha kummakkai. Mun antatikin noutistikin kahpaskoon. No ihta. Muu sokmoja ja kohti.
Ne suusavat sitten. Osaamme siitä miksi. Paketiin mesta muokkiin kai. Kotsako he käkä mitse pitkiin.
Kaasan mistä ikimatsiok. Kut omatsiok. Oiko miuset keskanak. Suoka iskanak miusukot. Sitten ne kajas makkoi mua katseko mui paket nikasuokin. Matsiik. Matseko ei matseko.
Even though they aren't hunted nearly as often as they once were, there are still many threats the caribou face. Their habitat has been changing rapidly through timber harvesting, oil and gas development, forest fires, and mining. These changes have caused increases in other prey species such as moose, elk, and deer. This in turn results in increased predator densities, which results in an increased mortality rate of the woodland caribou. Other major threats that are faced by the caribou are climate change, insects, parasites and diseases, pollution, and vehicle collisions. As industry grows, traffic increases, and vehicle collisions have become a major threat to the caribou population. Even the smallest of disturbances can frighten caribou enough to abandon calves and flee or ultimately lose the pregnancies due to stress and lack of resources in the most important old-growth areas. In Alberta, only Indigenous people are allowed to hunt caribou, but in the 1970s, we, the Aseniwuche Winewak, collectively decided to stop hunting woodland caribou when we noticed a decline in their numbers. Our elders hold stories of where they used to be and how many there once were. For decades, our elders have been speaking to anyone who would listen about the preservation of the caribou. As caretakers, we have a unique role and responsibility to the declining population of the woodland caribou. To combat this, we, the Aseniwuche Winewak Nation, innovated a new and unique program, Caribou Patrol. The Aseniwuche Winewak Caribou Patrol is an Indigenous-led stewardship program that promotes caribou conservation within our traditional lands, enhancing public awareness through attending events, programs, road patrols, doing surveys, collecting data, and educating the public on the effect human behavior and climate change has on these creatures and their environment.
Caribou Patrol, we patrol Highway 40 just south of Grand Cache. The caribou do their spring and fall migrations, so we patrol the highway just to make sure that they're staying off the highway and road users are more aware of their surroundings so that they can slow down, scan ditches, and look out for caribou so that they don't get hit, just for a more stable population. Try and conserve them. So what I'm looking for when we're doing our patrols, any kind of wildlife that we see, we'll take data on it. We'll pull over to the side off the road. We'll throw on the four-way flashers just to let other drivers know that we're stopped and that we're doing something and to kind of slow down. And we'll take data. If we can get pictures of whatever we see, just for reference, we'll do that as well. And especially for caribou, we'll just kind of double check, do kind of like, I guess, examine how they look, what they're doing, their behavior, and we'll look for other signs if they're with a group, their age, male or female.
The Creator made all things, and all things have a right to be here. We believe we must treat the land with respect, and that we must always treat all living creatures with the same respect. Traditional knowledge plays a vital role in the protection of the caribou, teaching the younger generation how to hunt, make tools, tan hide, and prepare meat, teaching that all things are interconnected. One thing cannot be changed without changing the whole. They know that our collective future depends on our cooperation. The integration of scientific and traditional knowledge can help reduce environmental impact and create balance.
Ui siksketawa. Notstikwetsikwe manaji sekatamako ihtaok makan notsikwe manaji isik. Hui atani nanka yasotse koinimun muikohim siske mananak. Akami tsetkutakaisinu muikoi makoi tetam daskotota anosuma mioskame ni begne tani paheo. Otantetiko tse meutse ko nehio. Yksi nakateu sumanando itao. mahtaa eko.
No, taas kutsema naatsi itse, kun eikä hihtaatsikin. Muissa pokautta petauksen onti. Muinen takia vuhpikin hittuukin. Ei taatikin tämä saissa.
It is important that our traditional lands in Grand Cache and the Caribou be protected. With less and less of the old forests with vegetation such as lichen, the caribou will have to find a new migration route with likely little to no food for them to sustain their herds. By providing education and taking a leading role in caribou conservation, we, the Aseniwuche Winewak Nation, and our Caribou Patrol are showing the world what it means to be caretakers of the land.